Hi, I am Tammy Demirza, and I want to talk to you today about the spiritual significance about a movie that was just released with Scarlett Johansson called Lucy. I want to know if you've seen that movie, and if you have, what was your perspective about the movie? I want to share a quick story, and then I'll tell you the spiritual significance about this movie from my perspective. What ended up happening is I had a client who was doing mentoring, and I had invited her because she has become a friend of mine to go see this movie with me, because I knew that what she and I would get from this and what the general public would get from this would be two totally different things, and I was correct. So as we approached the movie theater, I asked 4 of the employees, who were much younger than the 2 of us, what their perspective was about the movie. They thought it was over the top, they thought that it was ridiculous, they thought that it was way out of line, and none of it made sense. And I laughed to them and said, I will see this from a totally different view, because a lot of this is actually my life. And so we went into the movie, and guess what? It is very much what you have the capacity to do. Scientists have shown and proven through studying, and it is documented, that they say we are only using maybe 1 to 3% of our brain. If we were using up to 40%, we would no longer need vehicles in any way. If you want to know the spiritual significance of this movie from my viewpoint, it was very encouraging to me, because a lot of the things that she experienced through the brain capacity, which we will call the thinning of the veil, the thinning of that side of the left side of your brain, where the more information, more knowledge, more awareness, more things come forward for you to understand and know in this earth plane, and the capacities that grow along with that. Very much a lot of the things that she has experienced in this movie is what I experienced spontaneously through the sessions and through daily living. The knowingness, the being able to know what people are thinking, the reading people's thoughts without being intrusive or trying to read their thoughts, the knowing when they shift their energy and their perception, and when they get to a better feeling thought and what that feels like in them, the awareness of where they are before they even speak a word, hearing what they are going to say the moment and the second that they think it, being able to remotely review anything in anybody's office, being able to be carried in that way, in a way that is much more heightened than what we typically live in this common day world. This is not just a movie that just was given forward to us for us to just balk at, look at, say it's ridiculous. This is a movie that is really hopeful for those of us who experience these things, but even more to know what the capacity is to experience. I want to share with you how you can change your perception of what reality can be for you, and how you can start to experience very much the things that Scarlett Johansson or Lucy was experiencing in this movie. If you will lay down your agenda, if you will stop thinking that you have all of the answers, if you will stop looking at only the limits that are in this life and the linear way of looking left to right, only looking at what this earth has to offer, then you are opening yourself up for the capacity of much greater usage of your mind, of your brain in this physical realm, and what the capacities are for. I want to encourage you to become very much childlike in the process of looking at this earth, at what the interest is, of what the capacities are, what you can accomplish, what you can do, what you can know, what you can feel, what you can be aware of. When you feel that you have all the answers, such as, it's very interesting when people get in touch with me and they're thinking about a session with me, but they're saying on the phone with me, I already know all that. You know what I know about them? They do not know what they need to know. And that arrogance in any of us saying we have all of the answers really thwarts us being able to see more clearly through a conduit like me, or somebody who can actually see, know, and feel, and be able to give you information that is far deeper than anything you have imagined in the past. The one thing I know about working with my clients is this: when there's a clearing, when there's a change in perception, when there is another way of thinking or an understanding about what it is that you are doing, and we cleared that thought process, that belief system that thing that is keeping you hindered from really seeing beyond what it is that is currently happening in your earth plane, in your existence, in your creative prospect that you do yourself all day long. When we can get past that and you can get the understanding, then your awareness gets heightened. Very often I am told that when my clients are thinking about coming to see me, they will try to come up with excuses, as if I wouldn't know that they were making excuses as to why not to come to the session. They always do, but they will kiddingly tell me that their ego was fighting them on their way. And then once they get inside and they see my loving nature and they know that I just want to assist and they feel the essence of love when they're around me and gently guiding them through the truths of the things that are happening in their lives, then they tell me that after they get back home, their awareness gets so heightened, and it's very much like this movie is. So I want to encourage you. Would you think differently about your life? Would you think about the capacities instead of the limits? Would you stop balking at things that people are doing that look superficial or extraordinary or miraculous or that's not possible? I want you to know that all things are possible. And that movie is a great example. The blackness that you saw coming up her body and basically rising and covering her when she got to the 100% usage of the brain is what we call nothingness in the spirit realm. It is when there are no agendas, there's no reason for us not to just be completely and fully in love. And when you get to that stage of nothingness, and I want you to know I have not arrived there. I have experienced it a few times, and I know that when I get into that place, those few seconds that I've experienced is sporadically in my life, there is nothing but love, and it looks black. But the black doesn't scare you because it doesn't represent darkness. It represents nothing that separates you from the all that there is, from that oneness, from eternal love. And the more you get into the mindset of the possibilities of things, which is what I believe the energy of this movie is really about, is look at what is possible. Stop thinking so limited about the ways of the earth and what your capacity is to do. And I want to tell you something. If I can do it, anybody can, because I am just like you. That is enough for today. Thank you so much for listening, and namaste.